Welcome back to the Traders Network. I'm Michael Yorba, your host. Thanks for broadcasting or listening to us on 1190 AM iHeart Media Radio Studios, worldwide through yorbamedia.com. All right, I'm back with Doug Rink. FRTN is the stock symbol, Fortran Corporation, and that's Fortran.com. All right, Doug, when we left off, we were talking about your company, Fortran, and what it's doing. You briefly alluded to, if I may, the fact that you've got an offering up on corporate crowdfund. And can you tell us a little bit about that? What's going on with that? And we can go on down the road with more about Fortran. But I wanted to let everybody know that you're taking advantage of the new capital formation process through corporate crowdfund.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I really, I'm glad that the site exists. We're testing the waters with it there. I mean, the new Reg A offering and all of that really is. I think it's the beginning of the opportunity to level the playing field for companies such as ours to have an opportunity to raise capital and tell our story, and get out there to the investing public that might want to, or the investors that want to know what's going on. I mean, I don't know. It's just it feels like a great time. I mean, it's just wonderful, the new Reg A rules and all that for smaller companies to compete. That's just. So we did put an offering up there just to test the waters to see how it goes and to be a part of this, what I think is going to be a new revolution for companies like ours.
All right. Why are you using this methodology? I mean, you've already got publicly traded stock, FRTN.
Right.
And instead of doing a secondary offering or something of that nature, you decided to go this way from a corporate position and a cost position. Why are you going through a corporate crowdfund? There's got to be, you got to talk to your partners about this and then move forward on it. There has to be some benefits that you see that the rest of the world who hasn't done this yet can hear from somebody who's decided to make a move on that direction.
Well, for one thing, the cost to do the offerings and things like that on a small company like ours, it costs us the same as it would your parent corporation, Clear Channel. I mean, it's the same cost structure. So for a small company like ours, doing $5 million a year and growing, I mean, it's possible we could double our revenue in a year. You want to have, if you're not there yet, you look at these kind of opportunities. And I think because there's not a low-cost way for us to attract capital to the company, we've been held back. So, I mean, I think excited, not only for us, but for any small company below $10 million in gross revenue to look at an opportunity like this to tell their story. Let the investors decide if they want. Let the investors decide if they want to be a part of a company or if they like the company or like what the CEO is doing. I mean, I agree with what Mr. Fabriello said. I don't really the government, I believe with this Jobs Act and the things that's happening with Reg A, they're trying to level the playing field. And I think they're trying to help small companies like ours to get the word out and make it easy for investors to make an informed decision about what they want to do and not have Wall Street, use the rules against small companies like ours. But mainly it's cost, has to do with the cost of doing that.
Right. Good. That's a good answer. All right. The milestones that Fortran has overcome and achieved up till now, and then if we can, look into the future. What do you think? What you can tell us? What you have planned for Fortran?
Well, my job every day is to look at opportunities, and we have a lot of things that people bring to us once the company got to a certain point. But it should grow fairly rapidly from here. We've reached a critical mass on certain things, and it's a possibility that our company will jump top line revenue wise at least. Over the next 24 months or so, maybe shorter. Our goal is to try to double revenue every year, and if we can triple it, do that. But we work really hard to double our revenue about every year. We doubled it from 12 to 13, but then when you digest a few companies, you retrench a little bit, and then you start the acquisition process again, and that's where we are now.
Okay, and that's what you're looking for the things to
Yeah,
come to the future. Just continuing to your goal is to double the revenue every year. That's very
every year,
lofty.
every year.
That's
Yeah,
huge.
yeah, and you have to have funding, of course, and a dedicated team to do that. So when you have the new rules of Regulation A and you have the corporatecrowdfund.com, these kind of things are helping companies like us achieve that goal.
All right, and now let's talk about the industry sector that you're in and how you see it unfolding as we go forward. Because all of our industry sectors, with all the new forms of capital formation, new ways to do business, every industry sector is going through some form of a metamorphosis. And tell us about yours and how you play a part in that.
Well, ours is consolidating, and the portion that we do, and that's why we talked earlier about having to really home in on what exactly you do best. It's a niche. Ours is changing. Our industry is changing. A lot of owners that own these for 20, 30 years now are aging out. And so we just stay real true to our core about what we do and make it profitable. But the industry, the telecommunications industry, the hardware industry is consolidating rapidly. And if the folks that own those businesses don't do that, they're going to have to. They're either going to go out of business or merge with a competitor to stay alive, or to develop, to get the critical mass they're going to need to stay profitable. We just identified that about 3 or 4 years ago and pushed really hard to stay in our niche and not get sidetracked.
Do you think we're headed toward, where we get 3 or 4 companies around that are monopolizing everything?
I don't know that they'll monopolize everything. The vendors try their best to keep companies such as ours drive us into these little niches where we, it's really hard to switch from one product to another because we don't manufacture the product. We sell another product, but we service it. So I don't think the vendors, it's kind of like, I don't think the vendors are going to let there's 3 or 4 major telecommunications hardware vendors that are going to protect their turf. So we try to represent all 4 and keep them all competitive with one another and represent the client. Our model is kind of like a company called Black Box. And that's sort of what our model is, and we base it just on what that public company does, and just about everything we do is in line with what they do.
Okay, all right. So we are going to just continuously see consolidation. All the smaller mom and pop, maybe the grandson got it from dad. That kind of is going to go away. They're going to seek the shelter of a company like yours.
It's going to have to. I don't see any way it's not going to be able to do that, or the revenue is going to continue to shrink. And we're training our newer technicians that we're bringing salespeople into our business. We're training them from scratch. We just don't see a lot of new people getting into the hardware and the telecommunication integration business. So it's in its phase of consolidation right now, and that's what we do.
All right. One more time, contact information for you and stock symbols so these people that are out there can seek the shelter of your company.
Sure. It's the email address is Doug Rink, DOUGRINK, at FortranCorp.com.
Great, and FRTN, and it's also available on CorporateCrowdfund.com at a discount to the stock price that's out there in the public market, which is a new way to do that. All right, thanks, Doug. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
Baby,